She showed up every morning before the world even woke up, mopping floors, emptying trash, and keeping the store spotless. To most, she was invisible. But one manager made sure she never forgot her place, mocking her in front of staff, treating her like dirt. What he didn't know was that this quiet cleaning lady held a power no one expected, a truth that could bring his entire world crashing down in an instant. So when the tables finally turned, the silence in that room said everything. Her name was Angela. For years, she worked quietly in the shadows of a busy retail store, arriving before the sun, leaving long after everyone else. She wasn't the type to complain, even when her back ached or her hands stung from harsh cleaning chemicals. To her, it was simple. Work hard, earn an honest living, and provide for her family. Most of the staff barely noticed her. She blended into the background, her uniform smudged with bleach and dust, her footsteps echoing in empty aisles. But behind that quiet presence was a woman with pride, dignity, and strength far greater than anyone gave her credit for. And then there was Mr. Carter, the store's manager. He never saw Angela as more than the help. His snide remarks, his mocking laughter in front of others, his constant reminders of who was in charge. It was all meant to remind her of her place. What Carter didn't realize was that every insult, every humiliation was building toward a moment he'd never see coming. At first, Angela tried to ignore the comments. A quick laugh here, a sharp retort there. Mr. Carter always found a way to single her out. "Missed a spot again," he'd sneer, even when the floor sparkled. When new employees arrived, he made a spectacle of introducing her as if she were part of the furniture, not a human being. Each word chipped away at her dignity, but Angela swallowed up pride. She told herself it wasn't worth losing her job. But the humiliation didn't stop. It escalated. He would wait until the store was crowded, customers and staff within earshot, before barking orders at her. "Hurry up, you're too slow. What do we even pay you for?" The words stung, but worse was the way others looked at her, like they believed him. Angela wasn't just cleaning anymore. She was performing on his cruel stage, trapped in his spotlight. Behind closed doors, she'd cry in silence. Yet, every morning she returned. She wasn't weak. She was determined. But the injustice was suffocating, and no one seemed to care. Then came the day it all boiled over. A spill in the lobby had Angela rushing to clean before customers slipped. As she bent to mop, Carter walked over, smirking. Instead of helping, he kicked her bucket aside, spilling dirty water across the floor. The crowd gasped. "Look at that. Can't even do this simplest thing right." Angela froze. Heat rushed through her chest, but she said nothing. Around her, the silence was louder than the insult itself. Colleagues avoided her eyes, pretending not to see. To them, it was just another moment in Carter's endless parade of cruelty. But Angela knew this was more than humiliation. It was a warning. And then, yet, Carter wasn't finished. Later that week, a company executive arrived for a surprise inspection. Everyone scrambled to look their best, to make the store shine. Angela would double, polishing every corner, making the place spotless. But when the executive finally walked in, Carter smiled slyly and gestured toward Angela. "She's the reason this place always looks like a mess," he lied smoothly. The executive frowned, glancing at her, and for a split second Angela's heart sank. She braced herself for another blow, another round of shame. Carter's words were sharp enough to cut through years of hard work in an instant. But this time, things didn't go as planned. The executive didn't nod in agreement. Instead, their eyes lingered on Angela, thoughtful, calculating, as if weighing something far deeper than Carter could ever imagine. And in that pause, in that moment of silence, a shift was coming, one that Carter could never take back. The air in the room grew heavy as the executive's eyes locked on Angela. For a moment, no one spoke. Carter stood tall, arms crossed, wearing the smug smile of a man convinced he had won again. He leaned closer, whispering just loud enough for others to hear, "Don't embarrass us this time." Angela's hands trembled, but not from fear. It was years of anger, years of being silenced, mocked, diminished, that now surged to the surface. The executive finally broke the silence. "Angela, how long have you worked here?" Her voice cracked at first, but steadied. 12 years. Every day. Every shift. Gasps echoed across the staff. Carter's smile faltered, his confidence shaken. The executive's gaze hardened. "And tell me, who signs your checks?" The room froze. Carter blinked, confused. Angela hesitated, unsure if she'd heard correctly. Then the truth dropped like thunder. Because technically, Angela does. She's not just an employee here. She owns part of this company. The words sliced through the air. Carter's face drained of color, his arrogance collapsing in real time. The staff, once silent, now stared wide-eyed at Angela, not as a cleaner, not as invisible, but as someone who had been holding power all along. Angela stood taller, her dignity unshaken. Carter stumbled, trying to speak, but no words came. The executive's tone grew sharper. "For years, you've humiliated the very person who makes this place run. Today, your behavior answers for itself." A hush fell. Carter's career, his authority, his illusion of superiority shattered in an instant. Angela looked at him one last time, her expression calm, unflinching. "You thought I was beneath you," she whispered, her words cutting deeper than any shout. And in that silence, Carter's downfall began. Carter didn't return the next day. His office was emptied, his name stripped from the schedule board he once lorded over. For the first time in years, the store felt different, lighter, freer. The same employees who had once averted their eyes now looked at Angela with a new respect, though she didn't seek it. She never wanted applause. She only ever wanted dignity. For Angela, the victory wasn't about revenge. It was about truth. Every mop, every sweep, every long night of unseen labor had never defined her worth. What defined her was her resilience, her refusal to be broken, and the quiet power she carried all along. But this story is bigger than Angela and Carter, because in countless workplaces, classrooms, and neighborhoods, the same pattern repeats. Racism hides behind smirks, whispers, and power plays. It thrives when silence protects it. And too often, people like Angela are forced to endure in the shadows, unseen until a breaking point is reached. Angela's moment was extraordinary. But should it really take extraordinary circumstances for respect to be given? Should it take exposure and humiliation for dignity to finally be recognized? The truth is, Angela's story is not just about one manager or one store. It's about a system that allows cruelty to thrive unchecked until someone has the courage or the leverage to stop it. And so the question remains, how many more Angelas are out there today, quietly suffering in silence? And when their moment comes, will we be the ones who look away, or the ones who finally stand by their side?